Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the CSI softball complex. We got started a bit early here at the College of Staten Island in today's NCAA Division II softball doubleheader between the College of Staten Island and St. Thomas Aquinas College. The Spartans got on the board first in the top half of the opening inning with a solo home run. And that accounts for our lone run in the game. With that home run was Abby Landrum to give her team the lead. Dolphins will look to respond in their half of the first inning as Mariah Carcano leads off for the College of Staten Island. She looks at a strike. This is Joe Foreman on the call for CSI Sportsnet. I'm on the air solo today. I lost some of my crew to the New York Knicks playoff game. That skips in for a ball, so Carcano behind 1-2 here. Thought we heard a verbal call for strike 2. Did not see a signal. Comes the 1-2 pitch, and that is sliced just foul. Dolphins come into today's game still mathematically alive in the chase for an East Coast Conference playoff spot, but their chances of getting in extraordinarily slim. They would need both Queens and Mercy to lose out, and they would have to win out. Dolphins against the Spartans this year, 0-2. The last game between these two teams won by Stack, 11-0. And that 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. And Carissa Della Vecchia has her first punch out of the game.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
That will bring Anissa Acosta to the plate. Acosta red hot right now. She's been the Dolphins' best hitter for much of the last 2 weeks. Perhaps a bit longer than that. And she takes a strike. Acosta comes in hitting .310. That trails only her sister Alyssa in batting on this Dolphins team. And that's hit hard. Diving stop it short on the backhand. Throw across the diamond in time for the out. What a play over it short. I do apologize. The pronunciation guide is over by public address. I need a copy of it. Lewis, can you get me a copy of the pronunciation guide, please? Without an engineer today and without a color commentary partner, really had to scramble to get on the air, and the early start didn't help. But I want to make sure that when I give credit where it's due, I have the correct pronunciation. And here comes the pronunciation guide. Thank you, Lewis. That's Adriana Coira at shortstop, who made that last play. 0-1 the count on Eileen Balderas, and she takes up and away. Balderas comes in hitting .282. Now, Lewis, there should be multiple copies. There are. I guarantee you there are. There's at least 3. There's at least 3 copies, Lewis. There are. I printed them. Comes the 1-2. That misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on the Dolphins shortstop. And that misses just outside for ball 3. Payoff pitch upcoming. And Delavecchia's 3-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for the Spartans starting pitcher. And the Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the first. We're through 1 from the CSI softball complex. Stack over CSI 1-0. And we are back from the CSI softball complex. 1 out here in the top half of the second inning. We're a bit short-handed today on our game day crew, so I'm bouncing back and forth between the broadcast and the public address desk right now. Once again, this is Joe Foreman, and I hope to be with you the rest of the way. I have a feeling that'll be the last time I'm summoned, but you just never know over the course of a doubleheader on a given day. Hard hit ball to open up the inning, but the catch was made out in left field by Acosta on the run. That play out there in left retired the first batter of the inning, Tara Hagan, for the first out. That ball was popped up by Emily Olivier, landed in foul territory, and the count remains even at 2. And that's hit hard down the line, but well foul. In addition to short-handed, we're battling allergens out here as well. So if our audio cuts, that's because of my reaction to the pollen in the air. Right now, one of our crew members, Nick Bavona, is at Madison Square Garden taking in the Knicks game. But I know he'll tune in once that's over. He should know we're missing him right now, as that pitch skips in for ball 3. Another full count early in this game. Pitch to Olivier is chopped foul. And we'll do it again, 3-2. Sun beginning to peek through the clouds here at the CSI softball complex. Torrential rain last night into this morning wreaked havoc on the field, as that ball's fouled away once again. This is now an 11-pitch at-bat. Here comes another 3-2 pitch. And that misses for ball 4. 1-out walk issued by Frenza. And that will put a runner on.
Now batting the third baseman, number 8, Nyla Sapia.
Nyla Sapia will be the batter. And she looks at a strike. Sapia comes in hitting at .213 on the season. She takes a ball up and away. Comes the 1-1. That misses badly. Comes the 2-1. That misses outside for ball 3. Three balls and 1 strike to count, and that misses badly for ball 4. The batting average against for Frenza this year, solid. Entering today's doubleheader.
The right fielder, number 6, Emily Mayer.
In that department, she leads the Dolphins. Opponents hitting just .276 against her. But the 70 walks in 92 1/3 have really hurt. And she's now issued a couple in this inning. One out, 2 on base for Stack. At the plate, Emily Mayer. And she looks at that pitch outside. Corners in for the Dolphins. Mayer not showing bunt, looks at a strike. Comes the 1-1. That sails up and away for ball 2. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. And that misses away. 3-1 the count. And there's a big swing and a miss by Mayer. That runs the count full. That gives the Dolphins infield a chance to take a few steps back. Here comes the payoff pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Big strikeout for Alexandra Frenza. And there are now 2 away in the inning.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Amanda Demerly.
At the plate is Amanda Demerly. She lays down a bunt, and the Dolphins have no play. Bunt single for Demerly. Loads the bases.
Now batting the shortstop, number 1, Adriana Coira.
And brings up Adriana Coira. Coira is 0 for 1. Was retired to open the game. Comes the 0-1. That's popped up. Foul territory, out of play. And very quickly, Frenza gets ahead, 0-2. comes the 0-2. And that's it out to shallow left. Falling fast, and that's down for a base hit. It rolls all the way into the left field corner alongside the tarp, and 2 runs come in to score. It's a 2 RBI double for Adriana Coira, and the Spartans now lead at 3-0.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Elise Marcano.
That ball was not hit hard, but it didn't take much to get that ball over the Dolphins' infield and in front of Acosta out and left. Tough break for Frenza and CSI as they now trail by 3. Comes the 0-1. And that's hit to shallow right center. And that's down for a hit. 2 more runs come in to score, and the Spartans now lead it by 5. 4 hits in the game for Stack. 2 bloops, shallow in the outfield, a bunt single, and a solo home run. Stack now leads it by 5. Elise Marcano with that last hit. Back-to-back 2 RBI hits for Stack. And that's hit out to shallow left. Fair ball. And Landrum is now 2 for 2 as 3 straight softly hit balls land in front of Dolphin outfielders. Frenza easily could have been out of this inning 3 times. And instead will work with 2 on and 2 out. Eliana Raposo at the plate. She's 0 for 1 in the game. Finds herself ahead in the count, 1-0 right here. And that's foul tipped into the glove of Rianne Mayer for a strike. That sails up and away for ball 2. And that misses for ball 3. Count now 3-1. That's in for a strike. Runners will be going on this pitch. Comes the 3-2. That's fouled away. Entering this at bat, Frenza had thrown 45 pitches. This will be pitch number 52. And that misses down and in for ball 4. Stack now has the bases loaded. And Tara Hagan will be the batter. Hagan is 0 for 1. Chance here to break this game wide open. And Hagan takes a strike. And the 0-1 misses off the inside corner. In the first 2 meetings between these 2 teams, as I mentioned before, Stack took the win in both games. The Dolphins scored 4 runs in game 1. That was a close game. That Stack won 6-4. The Dolphins did not score in game 2 as they lost in a shutout. They'll need at least 6 here in game 1 as that's hit softly to short, and Balderas can't make the play. Another run comes in to score. Spartans lead at 6-0. And the Dolphins have just been victimized by softly hit balls all inning. Frenza realistically could have been out of this inning 4 separate times, and instead finds herself trailing 6-0. We don't track exit velocity here statistically, but if we did, it would be amazing how softly the Spartans have hit the ball and managed to score 5 runs. So that pitch is fouled away. Emily Olivier getting her second at-bat of the inning. And the 0-1 misses up and in. I'm seated fairly close to the CSI dugout. And if Frenza doesn't get this out, I would think this is probably it. And she does get it, as that ball was hit hard by Olivier right into the glove of Balderas to retire the side. But not before the Spartans score 5 times. They now lead CSI 6-0 as we head to the bottom half of the second. And we are back for the home half of the second inning. Amelia Funston will lead off for the Dolphins. And she looks at that pitch inside for ball 1. Our break board didn't want to leave the screen there for one reason or another, but we'll clear that up. And the 1-0 is in for a strike. Dolphins with a big hole to climb out of early in this game, trailing by 5 runs. That's fouled straight back. Ketchup and mustard. So today, at the CSI Softball Complex, Sal Caruso of CSI Intramurals is hosting our baseball bingo event. Today, perhaps more appropriately called softball bingo. But I had to get my order in from the food cart in between innings. Can't have a hot dog without condiments. I had to send Lewis back, but he's got it taken care of. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count on Funston. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. Quickly 1 away for the Dolphins in the home second. And Alyssa Acosta will be the batter. Acosta comes in, CSI's leading hitter on the season. Batting at .321. And that lands foul. Great effort out there and left to try and make that play on a dive. That was Demerly. I'm seated right behind home plate. I have to take a look and see if you can spot me on the main camera feed. Directly to the right of the commentary desk, near the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, is where I'm seated. There you see Sal Caruso throwing up the softball bingo cues. So that's fouled away. But the point of saying where I'm seated is that I can't see the left field corner very well. Count 0-2 on Acosta. And that's lined into left field for a base hit. Acosta continues to swing a hot bat for the Dolphins. Alyssa and her sister both hitting very well these last couple of weeks. And that will bring up Natalia Knott.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 24, Natalia Knott.
Knott comes into this game hitting .237. She goes up the ladder with that fastball for strike one. And that's in for a called strike. And the 0-2 skips in. One ball and two strikes to count on the Dolphins' first baseman. Delvecchia's pitch on its way, and that's popped up on the infield. And the catch is made over at second base with ease, as Marcano puts it away, and there are two gone.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 23, Elizabeth Moore.
Elizabeth Moore will be the batter. And Moore chops one to short. Initially, it wasn't handled cleanly, but able to recover and make the throw across the diamond was Coira, and that will retire the side. Dolphins pick up their first hit of the game and strand one. We head to the third. Stack over CSI, 6-0. And we are back from the CSI softball complex, where the Dolphins have made a pitching change. Kelsey Strayer comes on in relief of Alexandra Frenza, who had a lot of really tough luck in that last inning, as that's hitting the air out to right, where Whalen makes the catch for out number one. Frenza issued a couple of walks, allowed a bunt single, and then a couple of softly hit singles to the outfield. Ultimately, Spartans would bat around and score 5 runs. That pitch is in for a called strike. Emily Mayer at the plate. And she looks at a ball. Mayer is 0 for 1. And that catches the outside corner for a called strike 2. Long look in here from Strayer as the Dolphins get the pitch call from the dugout. Here's the 1-2. That's popped up. Foul territory, out of play as 3 Dolphins were in pursuit. One ball and 2 strikes the count on the Spartans right fielder. Strayer's pitch on its way. That misses outside. Strayer has typically been the first Dolphin to come on in relief when she's been available. She's appeared in 14 games, all in relief, as she picks up a strikeout here. There are 2 quick outs. On the season, Strayer's pitched to a 6.07 ERA with a whip of 1.6, a record of 1-1. In 30 innings, she's allowed 38 hits, 28 runs, 26 of those earned. She's walked 10 and struck out 17. Opposing batters hitting .295 against her. Amanda Demerly takes high. One 0 on its way. That's tipped into Mayer's glove. That evens up the count at 1. That misses down and away. Here comes the 2-1. And that's hit softly to left. And Acosta knocks it down on a bounce. The runner goes to second. And she is out. Demerly tried to stretch that into a double unsuccessfully, and the Dolphins are out of the inning. 1 base hit for the Spartans. That base runner quickly erased, trying to turn it into a double. And we head to the home third. Dolphins trailing 6-0. Victoria Whalen will lead off for the Dolphins here in the home third. CSI trailing 6-0. Whalen quickly ahead 1-0. And Whalen swings and misses for a strike. Whalen, with her appearances in games earlier this week, now qualifies to be among the team leaders in batting. As she hits one on the ground to the left side, and that is through for a base hit. Off the glove of Coira at short. Now Whalen continues to hit. She's now batting above the 300 mark. Didn't get all of that one, but got enough to get it through the hole as we get a quick look. Rianne Mayer at the plate for her first at bat of the day. And she's quickly in a 2-strike hole. That's it out to right. And that is down as Mayer lost it in the sun. And Rianne Mayer will be the beneficiary of that play as she coasts into second base standing. I think that's going to go down as the first Spartans' error. And the sun made a cameo just for that pop fly because it is not very sunny out. And while that ball was in flight, the sun peeked through the clouds. Mariah Carcano at the plate here with 2 in scoring position, swings and misses for strike 1. And fouls that pitch away. Carcano quickly in a 2-strike hole. Infield about halfway in for the Spartans. Comes the 0-2. That skips in. That one well short of the plate. One ball and 2 strikes, the count on Carcano. And that's hit to the right side. Spartans come home with it, and Whalen is out. An aggressive play by the Spartans to cut down the run at the plate. But they get Whalen trying to score. And now there are 2 away in the, check that, 1 away in the inning.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
I am very surprised the Spartans came home with that ball. Play at the plate wasn't really that close. Here's a second look at it. Nisa Acosta now the batter. And TJ looks at ball 1. Acosta 0 for 1. And she takes high. And now, TJ's ahead 2-0. Two-0 pitch coming, and that's hit hard through the right side for a base hit. Mayer will come in to score, and the Dolphins are on the board. They now trail 6-1. With runners on base, Anissa Acosta always seems to deliver as she continues to rack up the RBIs. On the season, Acosta has now driven in 30 runs. early in the season, she led the ECC in RBIs. But the Dolphins going through a bit of a scoring drought. That has likely changed, but she still may be among the leaders in runs batted in. And she certainly is. Right now, 4th in the conference in RBIs. Eileen Balderas is the batter, and she takes up and in for ball 1. Balderas struck out her first time up. Looks to keep this Dolphins rally going. Comes the 1-0. That's popped up right in front of the plate. Fair ball. And Balderas didn't run. And that cost the Dolphins an out. 2 away now. And Amelia Funston will be the batter. About halfway down the line, Balderas slowed down, thinking that the ball had rolled foul. That officially goes down as a fielder's choice, or I should say, an out at first base. 2-3, both runners advance. And Funston hits one out to left, foul territory and out of play. Well, good news for Nick and the Knicks. He missed our game today to take in a Knicks win at Madison Square Garden. They now lead the Cavs in this Eastern Conference first-round series 3-1. A lot of our New York viewers will be happy about that. I certainly am. As Funston takes high. As a season ticket holder, I very much look forward to the potential of Knicks versus Heat in the second round because Miami has a 2-1 series lead over Milwaukee right now. And that could be a series for the ages if it happens. That's hit slowly to the right side once again. And that flip was almost wide at first base, but it was reeled in. And that will retire the side. The Dolphins strand 2 in scoring position, but they get on the board for the first time today. They trail 6-1, heading to the 4th. Adriana Coira leads off for the Spartans here in the 4th. Coira in the game is 1 for 2. Spartans with 6 runs on 6 hits in this game. Now, the official scoring on that fly ball to right field was a hit, though it was lost in the sun. As the throw across the diamond is in time to retire Coira, but in the last half inning, that fly ball hit to right by Mayer goes down as a hit. There was then a bobble in right field that was scored an error, allowing Rianne Mayer to advance to second base. That ball's fouled back. Luis Marcano at the plate. That foul tip hit Mayer on the way back. Oh, and 1 the count. Long look in from Strayer. Here's the 0-1. And that's called strike 2. Marcano quickly in a 2-strike hole. And that misses upstairs. Sounds like there might be a megaphone in the crowd. As that pitch misses outside. Comes the 2-2. And that off-speed pitch is fouled back. Strayer had Marcano way out in front of that one. Good defensive cut to stay alive. Comes another 2-2. That's popped up foul and out of play over the Dolphins' dugout. Comes the 2-2. And that is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Another strikeout for Kelsey Strayer. That's her second. And there are now 2 away.
Come on, Abby. Let's get another bomb right there. Let's try.
That's a called strike. Abby Landrum at the plate. Already has a solo home run in this game. Also had a base hit in her second at bat. And Landrum takes inside. Comes the 0-1. And that's off the outside corner for ball 2. And Landrum takes a strike. Dolphins outfield playing very deep, especially in left. So that's popped up just beyond the infield. And Acosta stays with it to make the catch for the final out of the inning. Spartans go down 1-2-3. They still lead CSI 6-1. Alyssa Acosta leads off for the Dolphins here in the fourth. Had to get my microphone down from up over my head. And very quickly, the Dolphins left fielders in a two-strike hole. It's been a very busy week for us here at the College of Staten Island. We had softball doubleheaders on back-to-back days during the week. Those coming on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we hosted our Class of 2023 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I had the privilege of emceeing that event. It was a great night at the Sports and Recreation Center. We thank everyone who joined us as Nath was hit by that pitch, and the Dolphins have a one-out base runner. Thursday was a very unique experience for me. First time I've hosted an event of any kind as the MC. Got the chance to see what goes into an event like that. Helped with the setup and breakdown and wrote the script, got to edit those videos. Those videos are available to be viewed on our CSI Sportsnet YouTube page. Those video messages coming from individuals chosen by each of our 6 Hall of Fame inductees to speak during the ceremony ahead of their induction. Those videos were played for all in attendance on Thursday night. Once again, they're available to be viewed online and are also available to be viewed on our Hall of Fame landing page at csidolphins.com/HOF. Eventually, full video of the event is expected to be made available as well once we receive those video files. We'll break it down and get that posted online. 2-2 the count on Liz Moore. And she swings and misses for strike 3. Two away in the inning now, and Victoria Whalen will be the batter. And Whalen takes up and in for ball 1. And the 1-0 misses for ball 2. Whalen had a base hit her first time up.
Sound like a Met versus Yankees game. As long as it doesn't curse out on the next ball.
That's taken for a ball, as they'll check on the runner over at first.
Okay, that's ball.
Throw behind Nath, not nearly in time.
Let's go.
3-0 the count on Victoria Whalen. And she takes a strike.
No, that's not. Right field? Oh, she just walked before? Oh, hit by pitch. Before, yeah. No, I meant that the next pitch will be
3-1 the count. Delavecchia's pitch on its way, and there's a big swing and a miss by Whalen.
So let's get this over with and let's call the ball.
Here comes the 3-2. And that's in for a called strike 3. Delavecchia comes back from behind 3-0 to strike out Whalen, and the side is retired. Dolphins strand 1 on base. They still trail 6-1. First pitch of the fifth inning misses for ball one. At the plate, Eliana Raposo. And she takes a strike. Kelsey Strayer back to the circle for the Dolphins. That's fouled away. Here comes the 1-2. There's a swing and a miss for strike three. Quick first out here in the fifth.
Now batting the first baseman, number 18, Tara Hagen.
And that will bring Tara Hagen to the plate. Strayer's first pitch is lined into the right center field gap for an extra base hit. That rolls to the base of the fence where Carcano tracks it down. And sliding into second base safely with a one-out double is Hagen. And just like that, the Spartans have a runner in scoring position.
Now batting the catcher, number 21, Emily Olivier.
That might be their best hit ball since the home run. As we'll get another look at that last swing. Hagen shoots that one all the way to the wall in right center. First hit of the day for Hagen. And Emily Olivier will be the batter. She takes a strike. Olivier officially 0 for 1. And that's hit out toward right center. And that's down for another hit. Hagen held it third. Throw hits off of Noth's glove. But she's able to track it down. And the Spartans now have runners on the corners with just one out. That ball not hit as hard as the ball hit by Hagen. But Olivier got just enough of it to shoot it over Acosta's glove and into shallow right center. Now Lasapia will be the batter as the Dolphins will discuss things in the circle. Sapia is 0 for 1 at the plate. Strayer will get a new softball here. Right now the infield at normal depth for the Dolphins. They'd love a double play. You'd think they'd be aggressive coming home with the ball if they feel they have a chance. But it won't be easy with the middle infielders playing back. Count on Sapia, 0-1. That sails up and away. Throw goes to second on the stolen base attempt. Balderas lost the ball, and Hagen comes in to score. It looked like the Dolphins had executed well in that spot, but Balderas just couldn't keep that ball in her glove. We'll get a second look at it. Slow it down as well, as I believe we're going to have a pinch runner here. That was a good throw by Mayer. And if Balderas gloves it, the runner is out. Also, Hagen was going to hold up at third should that ball have been caught. So the Dolphins really executed well, minus holding on to that ball. 1 ball and 1 strike the count on Sapia. And there's a big swing and a miss. Ava Del Salto, the runner over at second base. And That ball is crushed into the left field corner, but foul. That ball was hit hard. Count remains 1-2, as the Dolphins were charged with an error there, allowing that run to score. It was clear that Hagan was not coming home if that ball was caught, so that's a good scoring decision there. Credit to our statistician today, Louis Matrone. He's also been taking my food orders, keeping me hydrated, and managing the sound system over there at the commentary desk. If Nick is listening on his way back from the Knicks game, we're waiting for you in game 2. Sapia takes strike 3, and Strayer has another strikeout. That's her 4th. She had just 17 strikeouts in 30 innings coming in. And it looks like we are going to have a pinch hitter in this spot. Spartans have a runner in scoring position now, 2 outs in the inning.
Thanks, Blue. Pitch hitter, number 7, Diana DiCarlo.
Stack with 8 hits in this game. Pinch hitter for the Spartans, Diana DiCaro. Correctly pronounced Diana DiCaro. That's my mistake. One ball and 1 strike to count on the Spartans pinch hitter. We get pronunciation guides so infrequently that when we do have them, sometimes I forget to refer to them even though I'm holding it right in my hand. Comes the 1-1. That pitch misses away. Comes the 2-1. That's in for a called strike 2. Strayer a strike away from stranding a runner in scoring position. Dolphins shift their outfield defense a bit to the right with a left-hander at the plate in this spot as DiCaro swings and misses for strike 3. Kelsey Strayer with 5 strikeouts. She's pitched well in relief. The Spartans do get a run in the inning, and their lead is back to 6. Our score, 7-1 Spartans, heading to the home half of inning number 5. Dolphins trail 7-1 entering the bottom half of the 5th inning as Rianne Mayer takes a strike. Mayer officially 1 for 1 with a single in this game, advanced on an error in right field. And Mayer takes low for a ball. One ball and one strike the count on the Dolphins catcher. That's fouled back. For the Dolphins in their half of the fifth. 9-1-2 due up. And Mayer pops that one up. Foul territory. And off the top of the Spartans' dugout. Well, Mayer stays alive. Sun beginning to shine once again here at the College of Staten Island, as Mayer goes up the ladder and strikes out. Mentioned the strikeout numbers for Strayer. Della Vecchia now has 7. Struck out 13 against Uville. And the Spartans' most recent pair of conference games. And Carcano takes up and in for ball 1. Mariah is 0 for 2 in this game. Came to bat with 2 in scoring position her last time up. Put the ball in play as she has what I thought initially was a base hit, but it's just foul. Once again, my angle from where I'm seated behind home plate, not good for judging balls down the left field line. Have a much better view of the right field line. Thanks in large part to softball bingo and the free food and drink that comes along with it. Nice crowd here assembled on a Sunday afternoon. Good weather on Staten Island as well. That was not the case yesterday. I was outside broadcasting another event, women's professional football, and the weather did not cooperate with us late in that game as Carcano strikes out, and there are 2 away.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
Anissa Acosta will be the batter. TJ had to hit her last time up. That's fouled away. Acosta now with 30 RBIs on the season. She's responsible for driving in the lone Dolphins run. And that's a half swing at that 0-1 pitch. She got a piece with the rear of the bat. Count now 0-2. Oh, and 2 on its way, and that is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Acosta down looking, and the inning is over. We head to the 6th. Spartans over the Dolphins, 7-1.
Give me a front row view, baby.
Amanda Demerly leads things off for the Spartans here in the 6th inning. And she looks at ball 1. Demerly 2 for 2 at the plate in this game. Comes the 1-0. That misses for ball 2. One and one the count. And Strayer's pitch is sliced foul. Scoreboard has 1 and 2, so one of those first 2 pitches must have been called a strike. Unless I'm mistaken. That misses high. The scoreboard officially has 2 and 2. We'll go with that and hope that's correct. I've never handled calling the game and keeping balls and strikes at the same time very well. Count runs full now at 3 and 2. Payoff pitch on its way. That's popped up just beyond the infield. And Acosta and Balderas nearly collide and left, but Acosta makes the catch. Crisis averted there. And there's one away.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 1, Adriana Coira.
That will bring Adriana Coira, the shortstop, to the plate. It's bunted to third. More throws in time. Nicely done by the Dolphins' third baseman. 2 away now.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 2, Elise Marcano.
Elise Marcano will be the batter. Marcano 1 for 3 at the plate. And she tries to bunt, but comes up empty. Comes the 0-1. That misses high. And the 1-1 is hit hard on the ground to second. Acosta has it. Throw to first in time. And the Spartans go down 1-2-3 in the 6th. Dolphins come to bat, trailing 7-1 after this break. And we are back for the 6th inning. The home half of inning number 6. Dolphins trail by 6. And Eileen Balderas will be the batter. And Balderas offers at the first pitch and fouls it back. Balderas 0 for 2 in this game. comes the 0-1. That's hit in the air. Foul ground. And off the top of the CSI dugout. I've never seen three grown men cower in fear of a softball so quickly. Sal has. 0-2 the count on Balderas. And she strikes out. One away in the home sixth.
Now batting, the designated player, 0, Amelia Funston.
And Amelia Funston will come to bat. And Funston pops one up on the infield. Della Vecchia has it. And there are two away.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 12, Alyssa Acosta.
And Alyssa Acosta will be the batter. Acosta with a hit in this game. She's 1 for 2. Alyssa Acosta with a hit. Anissa Acosta with a hit. The other two Dolphin hits belong to Victoria Whalen and Rianne Mayer. Comes the 0-1. That's fouled straight back. No balls and 2 strikes the count on the CSI left fielder. Pitch from Della Vecchia. Line to left. Base hit. And Acosta has her second base hit of the game. 5th hit for the Dolphins. And CSI is a 2-out base runner. That will bring up Natalia Noth. Noth is 0 for 1. And she fouls that pitch back. Oh and 1 the count on Noth. And Della Vecchia's pitch misses outside as they tried to throw behind Acosta at first. Acosta got tangled up there with Hagan, who tried to pick that ball out of the dirt. 1-1 the count on Noth. And Noth takes a strike. Comes the 1-2. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Della Vecchia with strikeout number 11. And the Dolphins are turned aside in the 6th. 1 base hit in the inning for CSI. They strand a runner. And the Dolphins trail 7-1, heading to the 7th. 1-0 the count on Abby Landrum, and she takes a big cut at that pitch for strike one. Landrum 2 for 3 in this game. Opened the scoring with a solo home run back in the first inning. Soft base hit. Brought home a couple more after that. Check that. Landrum with just the 1 RBI. And she takes down and in for ball 3. Three and 1 the count on Landrum. That swung on and missed. Comes the payoff pitch. And that's hit softly but foul. Strayer tried the off-speed pitch right there. Three and 2 the count. Strayer's pitch on its way. And once again, that's fouled off. They'll retrieve a couple of new softballs from the Dolphin dugout. And another 3 and 2 misses. Landrum draws the walk, and the Spartans have a leadoff base runner.
Now batting the center fielder, number 42, Eliana Raposo.
That pitch is in for a called strike. At the plate, Eliana Raposo. As we're going to have a pinch runner over at first, that's Selena Davis.
Thanks, Blue. It's her second debut.
Dolphins' corners are in here. As that's bunted foul. And Raposo is now in a 2-strike hole. Dolphins will play back at first. We'll play in at third here. Middle infielders all the way back at regular depth. Here comes the 0-2. That's fouled away. And once again, that's fouled away. Battle brewing here between Strayer and Raposo. Comes the 0-2. That misses high. Runner was going, and Balderas applies the tag on the run. The Dolphins get the out at second. Caught stealing was the pinch runner Davis. Nicely done by the Dolphins, as they've executed that twice already. They just didn't make the catch over at second last time. But the Dolphins have been pretty good with that this year, getting that ball on target and on time. The issue has been applying the tag, but they've done a good job in giving the opportunity to get that out on stolen base attempts, as we'll get a second look at it right here. Mayer put that throw right on target. And Balderas does a good job to apply the tag. That's not easy on the move. To bring that ball in and apply that tag, could very easily see the ball knocked out on a play like that. As the count runs to 2-2 on Raposo. Comes the 2-2. That sails up and away. Another full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Raposo awaits the payoff pitch. And once again, that's fouled away. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Another 3-2 on its way. And that is chopped foul. Battle continues. Pitch number 11. 3-2 coming. And that is fouled away out of play. Get a new softball out to Strayer as we await another 3-2. Strayer up to 75 pitches in relief. Here comes another 3-2. That's popped up and foul. And the battle will continue. At least one more pitch. Even in a 6-run game, whether it's pitcher or batter who gets the better of the other here, you have to think that neither wants to lose this battle as this at-bat approaches 15 pitches. Here comes another 3-2 pitch. And that's hit hard, but in on the hands. And the out is recorded at first. I thought, based on the sound of that contact, Raposo got a lot more of it, but Strayer did a good job to jam her on that swing. And Balderas with a strong throw records the out.
The first baseman, number 18, Tara Hagen.
Strayer gets the out, and there are 2 away in the inning. And Tara Hagen looks at ball 1. Hagen is 1 for 3. And she swings and misses at that pitch for a strike. So I have received confirmation via text. I will have a color commentary partner for Game 2. Nick Bavona is on his way to the facility. I'll have to ask him about his first experience at a Knicks playoff game. I'm a seasoned vet of Knicks playoff basketball. Here comes the 2-1. That's popped up. Foul territory. And Knopf drops the ball, but that is a foul ball. The spotlight shines brightly on Lewis. I see him cracking a smile over there. He knows how to score that one now. Lewis, E3, DF. Third Dolphins error of the game. Comes the 2-2 again. And that's lined through the left side for a base hit. Ninth hit of the game for the Spartans. The inning continues, and Emily Olivier will be the batter. Olivier is 1 for 2. First pitch on its way, and that's sliced foul. Comes the 0-1. And there's another foul ball. Spartans really haven't been on much that Strayer has thrown in this game. She's had them off balance. Same could be said for Alexandra Frenza. Didn't give up much solid contact outside of that home run. And there's another pop-up. Foul territory once again, and Moore makes the catch to retire the side. The 2-out error does not hurt the Dolphins. The Spartans strand one on base. Last chance for CSI, trailing 7-1.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of great rise, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its
And we're back from the CSI softball complex. Now, throughout the day, I haven't had access to our audio mixer, which is positioned about maybe 10 feet to my left. And as a one-man crew, rather than getting up to mute myself on that mixer during every break, I've instead muted the audio for the broadcast. However, that also mutes our commercials. So that is the reason that our commercials today have not had sound. Probably better off firing those ad breaks instead, though. I don't think muting our main audio output would affect those fire ad commercial breaks. That point will be moot in Game 2, as I will have an engineer and color commentary partner, fellow Knicks fan and playoff game attendee, Nick Bavona. We do have a bit of a conundrum this weekend coming up, as Moore takes ball 2, but CSI Softball will host Senior Day against Mercy College. Those games will be played on Saturday beginning at noon. The plan right now is to broadcast with video and audio in one place, and then to broadcast with video only at the other location. And what I mean by that is we also have baseball playing at the same time. So we're still trying to sort that out. The initial plan was, if softball is in playoff contention, broadcast both games down here with audio, and to broadcast baseball with video only. As Moore looked to check the swing, and she could not. And Della Vecchia has another strikeout. One away now in the home 7th inning. But baseball is playing St. Thomas Aquinas up the hill on Saturday. Softball faces Mercy. If the Dolphins don't win this game, they are eliminated from playoff contention. So those games against the Mavericks will not have playoff implications. However, right now the plan is to broadcast the Senior Day game, Game 1, with video and audio. And then when that game is over, we plan to move the audio equipment up the hill and broadcast baseball and Game 2 up there with video and audio. That's the plan right now, and I think that's how it's going to play out this weekend. The only thing that would change that is if there's inclement weather in the forecast. If there's inclement weather in the forecast, that eliminates any potential softball broadcast of any kind, and we make our way up the hill in the press box at baseball. So that's what to expect this weekend on CSI Sportsnet. We also hope to finally record a new episode of the Dolphin Pod. We might do that today. Lewis is excited. The question is, do we have enough of our equipment on site to do that? I'm not sure, as that's line foul. And the count on Victoria Whalen stands at 1-2. Comes the 1-2. And Whalen held up. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Whalen looks at strike 3. 2 gone in the home 7th inning. Della Vecchia now has 13 strikeouts once again. CSI down to their final out. At the plate is Rianne Mayer. She's 1 for 2. And that's hit softly to third, handled cleanly, throw across the diamond in time, and the ball game is over. Spartans come into the CSI softball complex and hold the Dolphins to just 1 run. Of course, Della Vecchia goes the distance, allows just 5 hits, strikes out 13 for the second straight start. And the Spartans beat the Dolphins 7-1. With that loss, the Dolphins are eliminated from playoff contention in the East Coast Conference, though coming into today, it was going to take a very improbable series of events to make a playoff berth happen, but nonetheless, the Dolphins are now officially eliminated from playoff contention, meaning that Queens and Mercy have clinched a spot in the playoffs. Only 5 teams in the ECC eligible for a postseason berth entering this year. The Dolphins were among those teams. Deauville becomes eligible to qualify for the postseason next year. So ECC softball will have 6 teams eligible next season, just 5 this year. And with the Dolphins' elimination, the 4 other eligible teams will make up the field of 4 in the ECC softball playoffs. However, still 1 more game to go today between the Dolphins and the Spartans. I'll have to double-check the standings, but the Spartans right now should still be in contention for the top spot in the ECC playoffs, if they're not in that top spot already. I do believe they were trailing Malloy by a couple of games, and if that's the case, this game certainly holds a lot of meaning for them in terms of picking up another conference win. I'm pulling up the ECC softball standings right now, and this game does indeed mean something to Stack as they continue to chase Malloy down the stretch of the season. In addition to these games, well, this game, I should say, coming up against the Dolphins in approximately 30 minutes, the Spartans have 4 more conference games on their schedule, 2 on Tuesday at Malloy. Those games are huge. And then they host their senior day on Saturday against Queens. So both the Dolphins and the Spartans will host senior day on Saturday. They have 1 more game against one another here today, and that game is coming up next. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman. And from all of us here at the College of Staten Island, thanks for tuning in to Game 1 coverage of this East Coast Conference doubleheader between the College of Staten Island and St. Thomas Aquinas College. Game 2 coming up in approximately 30 minutes. I'll be joined on the call by Nick Bavona. Took the lead, gave it right up. I will if you're going up. Boy, hold on. This got unmuted again.
Now batting the first baseman, number 18, Tara Hagan.
And we are back from the CSI softball complex where we had some internet issues. After game one concluded, I made my way back up to the building, returned only to find that our internet feed had dropped. But we restore our internet and are back. This is Joe Foreman, joined on the call for game two by Nick Bavona. Dolphins fell in game one by a final score of 7-1, but perhaps more importantly to Nick, the Knicks picked up the win at Madison Square Garden today. He's back on Staten Island and joins me on the call.
Got here in just the nick of time, Joe, for game number 2 of this doubleheader as Acosta misses with that pitch there. Very good vibes at MSG. As you can tell from my voice, it's very raspy right now, but for a good reason. As the Knicks, as you said, won. They're now up 3-1 in their series. Dolphins looking to split this doubleheader here at game number 2 with a 3-2 count. And Acosta walks the batter here to make it first, a runner on first with 2 outs.
Runners on the corners, 2 away for the Spartans. They scored a run in the first inning of game 1 on a solo home run. We'll look to strike first here in game 2 with runners on the corners, and Emily Olivier will be the batter. Now, I spoke about it briefly during game 1, but right now, with the Knicks up 3-1 in their series, they are staring in the face of a matchup, potentially, with the Miami Heat in round 2, in which they would have home court advantage.
That would be huge. I mean, I would love to go back to one of those games, considering how this game went today. You were there on Friday, so MSG has been a very good week for them. They have another game tomorrow with the Rangers.
And I will be there tomorrow. Should be a good one between the Rangers and the Devils. Hopefully not so good for Andrew and better for us.
Yeah. Andrew got the better laugh last night.
Even a peasant has to get lucky once in a while.
That's how I said about the Cavs in game 2.
That's right. In this series, there have been 16 quarters. The Knicks have thoroughly outplayed the Cavs in 13 of them. As that's hit into left, and that is down for a base hit. That will bring home the game's first run. Coming in to score is Koira, and Stack takes an early 1-run lead.
Good start for Stack there with that RBI single. They draw first blood here in game number 2 and go up to 1-0 with that RBI single.
So I mentioned it during game 1, Nick, but obviously you weren't here. What the Dolphins would have needed to qualify for the postseason was to win out, and for the Knights and the Mavericks to lose their last 4 conference games. Obviously that was going to be very tough, but with the loss, the Dolphins are officially eliminated from playoff contention. Now, they have 3 conference games left, 1 right here against the Spartans and 2 against the Mavericks on Saturday. And what do the Dolphins need to do down the stretch of the season? First of all, to snap their current losing streak, and second, to take some confidence into the offseason.
Well, they need a lot of offensive spark. They saw in game number 1, they only had 1 run in that game. They really need some offense going into this, last couple of games in the season. Acosta, realistically, for the Dolphins, last couple of games has been their offense. They need someone else in that lineup to step up in a big way.
Well, I don't know if you knew this already, but it might not surprise you that the 1 Dolphin run scored in the last game was driven in by Acosta. So another RBI for her. She has 30. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. As Nyla Sapia strikes out to bring the top half of the first inning to a close. Spartans once again get on the board early. They lead CSI 1-0.
Kettle Black on Staten Island. a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back for the bottom half of the first inning. Alyssa Acosta will lead off for the Dolphins. CSI trailing 1-0 early for the second consecutive game. Abby Landrum gets the start for St. Thomas Aquinas here in Game 2. Carissa Della Vecchia struck out 13 in her Game 1 start. Picked up the win. As that pitch misses up and away for ball 2.
And obviously, when you get eliminated from postseason contention, it really could bring down the momentum of the team. Dolphins down the stretch of the season looking to play spoiler for a couple of these teams.
That's hit softly to the right side, but the flip is in time to retire Acosta for the first out of the inning.
Slow grounder to second base. Good job right there from Stack to record out number 1. As Acosta does have wheels, but as we've seen here in games previous, just able to record the out for number 1.
And we continue to battle internet issues here at the CSI Softball Complex. Once again, Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Bavona, calling the action from right behind home plate today. 2 on for the Spartans, just 1 out here in the top half of the second inning. Anissa Acosta came through with a big strikeout just moments ago for the first out of the inning. All right, we had some audio issues, but we're back. Still ironing things out here, and you would think now, with just 1 doubleheader left in the season, that technical issues would be behind us, but when you're operating on Wi-Fi, that's never the case, as that's it out to left center, and that will find the gap for an extra base hit. That rolls to the base of the fence where Acosta tracks it down, and her throw is cut off by Balderas as Raposo comes in to score the second Spartans run.
And now 2-0 lead for the Spartans here. It's still second and third now with only 1 away.
The second baseman, number 2, Elise
And
Marcano.
the Dolphins still have that first base open, but they really needed to get the second out here in order to avoid further damage.
That was Adriana Coira with an RBI double. That gives Stack the 2-0 lead. The Dolphins bring the infield in. Elise Marcano at the plate. And she takes strike 1. the 0-1 misses up and away.
Elizabeth Moore and Natalia now, they're both in for the Dolphins as well as the rest of the infield.
And that's sent down the left field line. Foul. Now, sky's getting darker. We've checked the forecast several times. No rain incoming, according to the forecast. Sky tells a different story.
As Foreman Osborne knows, he is a meteorologist himself. So.
Something of a meteorologist. That is correct.
So that's definitely something to look out for as this game goes on.
The fact that I'm a meteorologist or the weather?
Both.
Okay. Fair enough. I actually got to drop that line the other night as that's hit on the ground through the middle, just past the glove of Balderas. Coira had to hold up. She stops at third, and it's an RBI single for Elise Marcano. Spartans now lead at 3-0.
And I believe that's going to force a pitching change now for the Dolphins. A 3-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. And it looks like it's going to be it's going to be Madison Edwards coming in.
New pitcher for the Dolphins means a commercial break for us. We'll be right back. CSI trails 3-0.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Top of the second inning. Dolphins make a pitching change. Madison Edwards comes into the game for CSI, looking to work out of a jam. As the Spartans lay down a bunt, Edwards goes to first with it. And Abby Landrum is retired. Now, Landrum, not the hitter you'd expect to bunt, but the Spartans looking to ensure that they were able to bring home a fourth run. And they now lead 4-0.
It's a perfectly executed bunt as well, as Dolphins really had no other play other than to go to first base. Brings home the fourth run for the Spartans as they now lead at 4-0.
Tara Hagan will be the batter. And Hagan pops that one up. Foul territory. Out of play.
Was the first pitch of number 8 was a bunt, right? Or it was a call?
0-1 the count on Hagan. And that pitch misses low.
Infamous chant from the
We all heard it.
dugout.
We all heard it.
Okay.
That one was extra dirty. It skipped about 5 feet short. And that misses up and away for ball 2. The runner is going, and the Dolphins didn't see it soon enough. Marcano took off for third as the Dolphins were throwing the ball back to the circle.
Unfortunately, when you have a lead like this, kind of brings you down the dumps sometimes when these games happen. And the Dolphins just got caught slacking on that one. And now a runner at third base for the Spartans here.
That's popped up. Foul ground. And Noth has it for the final out of the inning. But the Spartans score 3 times. They extend their lead to 4. Stack over CSI, 4-0, heading to the bottom of the second.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag, like facing backwards and with like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
Bottom half of the second inning from the College of Staten Island. CSI trails 4-0. Dolphins down to their final 3 games of the season. A week off for CSI coming up, or at least I should say 5 weekdays off. Dolphins season finale currently scheduled for Saturday. Though I did hear some rumblings that they might try to move that.
Really?
That's what I heard. Word on the block. We'll see if that happens.
Like to be a fly on the wall to hear that meeting.
Might be nothing, might be something. But I would really like that because baseball also plays on Saturday. And I discussed it a bit during Game 1 with myself, which is why it's tough to call a game alone. But
I know.
Thinking out loud, you do know. Both you and Andrew know now.
Yep.
I tried to tell you. But anyway, on Saturday, we have baseball up the hill, softball down here. It's senior day here at softball. And the plan that I had laid out was if softball was still in playoff contention, we would cover both games down here. Softball has now been eliminated with their Game 1 loss. So I think instead what we'll do is cover Game 1, cover the senior day ceremony, and then when Game 1 ends down here, we should have plenty of time to get up the hill and get set up in time for Game 2 of baseball. All that has to move is the audio equipment, not the Mac, not the camera. Now, at baseball, we typically use 2 cameras. So what we'll probably do is try and find a 3rd camera somewhere and get it up there in time for Game 2. But we'll see how that works out. Also, that 2nd camera would have to be positioned close enough to our video capture card so that we don't need the long HDMI cable, which will be in use down here. So we'll see what we can do.
Either way, it will be an eventful day.
Yes. 2 quick outs for the Dolphins and make it 3 as Carcano taps that one back to the circle. She is thrown out and the side is retired. Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in the second. They trail 4-0.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, "We could be a national contending team if you guys work hard." And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
Third inning from the CSI softball complex. Spartans maintain a 4-run lead. 4 hits in the game for Stack. They scored once in the first, 3 times in the second. Dolphins went down very quickly in the home half of inning number 2. And it's right back to the circle for Madison Edwards, who came on in relief of Anissa Acosta.
And Edwards will be up to the task of trying to keep this now a 4-run game. Dolphins still looking for their first hit of the game as we head in here to the top of the third inning.
Now this is up and away. Two balls and 1 strike the count. Emily Olivier leads things off in this half inning for the Spartans. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Nice pitch there by Edwards to force a swing, and now has a 2-2 count here.
Here comes the 2-2. That's fought off foul. Count remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch from Edwards is in the dirt for ball 3. So for those who also follow CSI Dolphins baseball, yesterday was a big day for them. They played games 3 and 4 of a 4-game conference series against Lincoln University. So that's Scott out to right center, and the catch is made. Now, I didn't get a chance to follow those games live. However, when I returned home from calling a football game last night, I saw the Dolphins had won game 1 and had lost game 2. What I didn't know is that the Dolphins officially lost game 2 3-2. However, in the top half of the 7th, they'd scored 4 runs and were leading 6-3. Lightning in the area forced a suspension of the game. The game was not continued, and the score reverted back to 3-2, and the Dolphins lost. So that's a big swing right there. It could have been a 4-game sweep, which really would have given the Dolphins almost, I shouldn't say a secure playoff spot, but they would have been awfully close.
It would have definitely, increased their positioning.
They're still in a great spot. They lead Mercy College by 3 games in the loss column. However, if they had led Mercy by 4 games in the loss column, that makes a huge difference because the Mavericks own the tiebreaker. So a really bad break in that regard. We dealt with the Lightning in East Brunswick last night. Tried to break down our operation.
The only good thing about that was it helped clean my car off.
Well, it helped get some of the pollen off mine.
Yeah, same.
Big issue for me has been when I'm driving, I can't use the air because the pollen on the outside of the car comes in with it.
Right.
And then I can't see. Ahead of the Hall of Fame on Thursday, I was driving.
Otherwise, you'd have to wear that mask in your car as well.
Honestly, I should have worn sunglasses and a mask during the Hall of Fame. My eye wasn't looking too good.
Did look dapper in your suit, nonetheless.
That wasn't a suit, Nick.
It looked like it.
It did look like it, but it was not. As that's a fly out to center off the bat of Nyla Sapia. 2 gone in the inning now.
Now batting the center fielder, number 42, Eliana Raposo.
Eliana Raposo will be the batter. First pitch from Edwards on its way. That's hit to short. Balderas has it. Throw to first in time. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Madison Edwards. And the Dolphins come to bat, trailing 4-0 after this break.
For me, just kind of was the glue that kept my family together, I feel like. I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Home half of inning number 3 from the CSI softball complex. And Avery Mockery offers at the first pitch, grounds it to short, and is retired for out number 1.
1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Dolphins as they still look for their first hit of the game.
We've seen a lot of quick at-bats today. Dolphins have been in attack mode at the plate. Natalia Knott, the batter, and she takes a strike.
Now, Joe, we talked about the Hall of Fame during the previous half inning. Overall, how was the experience?
I touched on it a bit during Game 1. For me, it was a very unique experience because I have never hosted an event like that or taken part in an event like that as an MC or a host of any kind ever. So that was my first experience. I think it went well. I hope that everyone in attendance enjoyed it. I'll tell you this, I got to sample the food at the end of the night.
Of course you did.
That was some good pasta. I actually have an entire tray of the cookies up in the office. So post-game, you guys can treat yourself to that.
Okay.
But it was a good experience for me, and like I said, I hope everyone who was there got the chance to enjoy it. Hopefully the inductees will remember it for years to come. Obviously, we had to make some changes this year. The event in the past has been held in the Nicotra Ballroom at the Hilton. But that's simply not a possibility this year. So we moved it to the Sports and Recreation Center. And overall, I think it went well. 2 quick outs in this inning. Rianne Mayers, the batter. Quickly, Mayers ahead 1-0. And that's in for a called strike. Comes the 1-1. That catches the inside corner. Also quickly approaching Nick. Now that all the preparation that I put in for the Hall of Fame is behind me, there's more preparation that needs to be done. I have to get back in shape in the next 2 weeks for faculty, staff, softball, and football. We'll talk more about it after the break. Dolphins trail 4-0 heading to the 4th.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
And we're back from the CSI softball complex.
Joe just received an interesting text.
Let's just say the consensus, and I think it's fair to say from our perspective as well, that baseball was robbed yesterday. Just saying.
Just saying.
We were talking about it during the break, and some of our friends listening back at home chimed in. And I think with a 3-run lead heading into the final half inning, it's fair to say that not getting the chance to play out those final 3 outs is a form of robbery. But what happened is the Lightning rolled in while it was raining. The field could not be tarped while there was an imminent threat of lightning. And because of that, the field got soaked, became unplayable, and the game was called. Nonetheless, baseball's still in a great position, and we'll have a chance to move one step closer to the team's first Division II playoff berth on Saturday.
And that's all you can ask for when you're down the season. You want to put yourself in a position and control your own destiny to get into the postseason. The Dolphins certainly have a chance to do that.
Now, we spoke about baseball's potential playoff berth. We have a big game coming up as well now. No one cares about our game as that's it back to the circle.
Only us.
But we care very much. And the reason we care very much is because not only is it a chance for us to showcase whatever talent and ability we have left, which for me isn't much when it comes to athletic endeavors, but I'm unbeaten. There's a record to maintain. I'm expected to go out there and defend my crown every year. And what kind of chief would I be if I didn't go out there and lead the squad into battle? That pitch misses inside for ball 1 after Edwards quickly gets the first out of the inning, but we have faculty staff versus student softball and faculty staff versus students flag football. I've never lost any faculty staff versus students event.
And you don't plan on any.
I don't intend to start. I actually got a chance to speak to TJ Tibbs the other night and reminded him that it is thanks to him that my unbeaten record remains intact.
At the buzzer. Cavaliers needed TJ today.
They could have had the chance to draft him when he declared for the NBA draft. Perhaps they should have.
Maybe.
But then I might not be unbeaten, so I think it's best that TJ ended up here instead.
Yeah.
That's for the best.
Agreed. All I'm going to say, Joe, is for that softball game, just have the ice ready.
Have the ice ready.
I'm not going to say what for. Just have the ice ready. Good
enough. Got to keep the Rocky Mountain oysters cold.
Yep.
Post-game meal.
Yep. Lewis having a nice chuckle to my left.
That's more than a chuckle. As that swung on and missed. Count now full.
Nice pitch right there from Edwards to now work the count full at 3-2. Looking for a punch out here.
Now, there will be food at those games, Nick. So, hopefully that's not on the menu. As that is deep in the hole on the right side, and Noth thought that Acosta was going to make that play. Acosta thought Noth was going to make that play. And instead, it's a base hit for Demerly.
A very unconventional hit there, but that's a situation, Joe, where you have to call it and say who has the ball in that situation. And unfortunately for the Dolphins, no one really decided to make the play, and it leads to an infield single.
1 out base runner for the Spartans. That pitch sails high. Adriana Coira, the batter. Runner going. Throw skips to second, but Valderas couldn't handle it, and I don't believe it was in time anyway.
Took a little bit of a bounce there. Count now is 1-1.
Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, the wind's picking up. I don't like it. I dressed for 60 to 70 degrees. So that's hit to second. Costa has it. Throw to first in time. And Coira is out.
My attire is also not good for this weather show.
No.
No.
Now, the running joke from Nick Durst, he loves to bring it up every time we speak about it. But if it's sunny and 70, then Nick's joke is that Sal will postpone the softball game for inclement weather because he did so last year, forcing Nick to miss it. In anticipation of rain, the game was canceled a bit too early, and then it was 75 and sunny.
You know, Nick Durst is looking forward to that softball game.
We should bring Pat Fleming on headset and ask him about Nick's softball skills. He gets a first-hand look every week. As that's bounced over to Noth at first, she steps on the bag, and the side is retired as Marcano goes down on that ground out. Spartans strand one. They pick up a hit in the inning, and they lead CSI 4-0.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
And we are back for the home half of the fourth inning, as Alyssa Acosta will lead off for the Dolphins. CSI still looking for their first base runner of the game. Comes the 1-0. That misses down and away. So Pat Fleming did not want to talk about Nick's softball prowess. Nick's a humble guy.
He's just here so he won't get fined.
Well, he's not here working. I don't know what he's doing here, honestly. That's in for a strike. Who got him a seat at the scores table?
He pleads the fifth.
If he's going to show up, he at least has to show up with Domino's. What are we doing? Even better, McDonald's, our scoreboard sponsor.
Yeah.
Thanks to our internet, we didn't get a pregame show today. First time all season we missed the pregame, which is pretty good. As Hagan steps on first to retire Acosta, but when we have to battle internet issues and early start times on occasion, as we had today about maybe 10 or 12 minutes early, from time to time we'll miss a pregame show because we aren't typically informed of early starts. We kind of just have to guess. But for the first time all season today, we missed the McDonald's pregame show, as that's a foul ball off the bat of Acosta.
I always say it all the time, Joe. You always got to be on your feet and ready for whatever happens here at the College of Staten Island.
Yep.
Perfectly summed up.
Yep.
Yep.
I say it just about every broadcast. We encounter something new each and every game. As Acosta takes a strike, she finds herself in a two-strike hole. Our last broadcast, Acosta gave us something we hadn't seen before. Inside the park home run.
That she did.
I believe that's the first inside the park home run I'd ever called.
Not my first.
No?
I was on the
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So you got to see one 5 years sooner in terms of total time calling games than I have. I cannot believe this is year 7.
Time flies.
I think this is actually the start of year 8. Year 8 began in January, though I called my first game in March of 2016.
Costa again just missed that one. Just going foul down the right field line.
2023 is the start of year 8.
Wow. Your second 4-year term.
Unlike, you know what, I won't say
No. I saw it. You were trying to say something, and you're like, you know what? It's probably of my best interest not to say what
It's
I'm about
probably
to
in
say.
my best interest not to get fined.
You're just here so you won't get fined.
Some might say.
That might be something to talk about post-game. Maybe.
What I will say is there are no term limits for me, so I can come back for another 4 years. That's chopped to third, and the throw is in time as Acosta is retired for the second out.
2 quick outs here. One of the better at-bats the Dolphins had right there with Acosta, fouling off a couple pitches. Just grounded hard to the third baseman to record out number 2.
That will bring up Amelia Funston. First pitch from Landrum is on the inside corner. Here comes the 0-1. And that's a strike on the outside corner.
Landrum has been in command in this game so far. Looking for another 1-2-3 inning here.
And Funston just got a piece. And they'll hand deliver the softball back to the circle. As Olivier took that one, looked like off the wrist of the hand. I think Hagan tried to give some mock standing CPR right there. Did you see that?
I did.
Okay, that is what that was, right?
Yeah.
Lou needs a headset. I don't understand.
I heard what he said. I don't want to mention it.
Okay.
I just don't.
Was it a Durstism?
No, not a Durstism. It had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Let's just say there was an action with her lips. That's all. I'll go into that.
You should have kept it to yourself.
That's why I want to keep it to myself.
Okay. Now Lou's going to get fined. Comes the 1-2. And that's hit hard through the right side for a base hit. The Stack contingent wanted to throw to first, and I think that was the idea in that spot, which caused the bobble in right field.
Well, Funston gives the best swing the Dolphins have had all game as they finally get on base there with their first hit of the game. And they look for a little 2-out rally here at the bottom of the 4th inning.
That pitches in for a called strike to Eileen Balderas. Kaylee Peterson in right field for game 2. Definitely had throwing to first on her mind there. So that's it softly to short. Throw goes the short way to second. And Marcano was able to bring it in. That throw had a bit of extra juice on it. But the side is retired. The Dolphins strand 1 after picking up their first hit of the game, but the score remains 4-0 Spartans heading to the 5th.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Fifth inning from the CSI softball complex. As Lou is back in the shadow realm. First pitch from Edwards on the way, and that's blooped into shallow right field and down for a base hit. We've seen that no less than 5 or 6 times today, especially in Game 1 where the Spartans were jammed a bit out in front, and they just have managed to find open real estate all day.
They're finding that sweet spot in the Dolphins' defense. There's a nice bloop single into right field to get a leadoff runner here in the top of the 5th inning.
Not so sweet if you're the Dolphins.
Yep.
Leadoff base runner on for Stack. And hit by the pitch was Hagan. On the hand. We have a third headset?
Now batting, the catcher,
I know we do.
21,
Rhetorical question.
Emily Olivier.
Question is, do you really want that third headset?
I'm considering it.
Okay.
We have some very vocal attendees. I think it might work. We'll call it Sounds of the Game.
Well, as long as it's not what the basketball team did last game,
No,
those sounds, yeah.
None of that.
As long as it's not those sounds, then yeah.
I think they were up there with a megaphone earlier.
Were they?
I think they were. Are they still up there? I don't think so, right? No. They were up there with a megaphone earlier.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's not allowed.
That's definitely not allowed.
Okay. Thought so.
Now I have to listen back and hear Game 1.
You might be able to hear it.
Okay.
Lou, were they up there with a megaphone earlier? They were. Not allowed. Selena Davis into pinch run over at second base.
I got it, Blue. Thank you.
And on deck, Sarah Williams will pinch hit. A couple of changes for the Spartans here as we play on in the 6th. Now, technically.
You mean the 5th, Joe?
I said 6th?
You said 6th.
Okay. Was looking at the hit total. Got confused.
It happens.
6 hits for the Spartans.
I say mound, circle, and you know, it happens. It happens.
The difference is I can send you home. I can't go anywhere.
All right, folks, I'll see you later.
I could send you to the shadow realm with Lou. As that's it out to right center. Carcano on the run. Makes the catch. Throw comes into third. Runner heads for second, and that was not a wise decision. As Hagan is tagged out. Looked like she overslid the base. Now, that's a very unconventional double play.
Now batting, the pinch hitter, number 22.
Well, our scoreboard just gave out on us in the middle of my call, so I had to assist Nick with that. But a very unconventional 8-5-4 double play. Though I wasn't sure if it was Acosta or Balderas who covered, as that skips to the backstop and will bring home a run. Stack goes in front by 5 on the wild pitch. Looked like the Dolphins might get out of the inning unscathed, but not to be. Williams behind in the count. 0-1 to start. That skipped in for ball 1. That sails up and away. Now, the left field scoreboard's giving us problems. The panel is without an antenna once again. We found a replacement antenna in the building and affixed it to a different scoreboard, apparently. So we have to track that antenna down again. Where's Sal when you need him? Any luck with the scoreboard, Nick? Almost done. Good. Here comes the 3-1. That's fouled away. Three balls and 2 strikes the count on the Spartans pinch hitter Williams. Pitch from Edwards on its way. That sliced foul.
Think we should be good now, Joe.
Good to hear.
That was a miscalculation on my part. I apologize to the viewers at home, but I think we're good now.
We'll bat you ninth at the faculty staff softball game for atonement.
I think that's where I batted last year, too.
Was it?
I think so.
Yikes.
It's okay. I made up for it at the end of the field.
Yeah, probably. The less you have to exert yourself, the better.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, we'll dump the whole ice cooler on you.
Oh, man. We don't want that.
Plenty of ice.
Hopefully in a celebration if we win.
Yes.
Sorry, when we win. Sorry.
That's better. Now, I can't help but bring it up because I was tearing with laughter last night. It was brought to my attention by Nick Durst that you could go online and that AIs can generate song lyrics for you.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
We'll talk more about it when the inning is over.
I don't know if I want to talk more about it when the inning's over.
The song that came up when I put in Nick Bivy the King was an all-time classic.
I'll say it's something, Joe. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll talk more about it after this at bat. Eliana Raposo at the plate. Runner on first, 2 outs for the Spartans. And that's hit through the left side for a base hit. Williams moves up to second. And Raposo is on with a single. Now, all I typed in was Nick Bivy the King. And a song was generated about a king who makes the townspeople dance with his music.
Who gave you the king part? If it's the person to my left, then I don't know.
It is.
Oh, man. Yeah, put the shadow realm, please.
Apparently, you're in his phone as Nick Bivy the King.
Why?
I don't know.
But I didn't agree to those terms.
It made for a great tune.
He's going to make me bring up what he is on my phone. Let's just say he's buzzing away.
Buzzing away? Jellyfish buzz?
Yeah.
It's news to me.
If you watch SpongeBob, they definitely did.
As Mayer is able to keep that in front of her. Nice play there behind the plate with the bare hand.
Apparently, I'm Usi Couture in his phone, not Bivy the King. That's what it is on his phone.
Usi Couture.
Yeah.
Well, I came up with that as your Pickett username.
Yep.
Kaylee Peterson at the plate.
I will admit, I do feel Usi sometimes.
Our viewers are going to be very confused.
Just they can look up what Usi means. It's fine.
When I call myself Chief, maybe they'll understand now.
Yeah.
If they look up Usi.
If they look it up.
2-1 the count on Peterson. And that's crushed, but foul. Now, the last time we had a ball hit that well foul, we got a bat flip and a stare at the ball by the batter. Do you remember that? The ball was fouled by about 50 feet.
Was that when they were asking for the replay of it?
Well, they didn't ask for a replay.
The last game we had, there was
It wasn't the last game.
Okay,
it was way back earlier in the season.
I do remember. I think I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. I think it was against American International. Another full count here. Runners will go on this pitch. Here comes the 3-2. And that's hit through the right side. No, Acosta got there. I was obstructed by the umpire. And the out is recorded over at first base. That ball was hit hard, and Acosta got there to make a nice play on the move. And that will retire the side. Dolphins come to bat, still trailing, bottom half of the fifth.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Elizabeth Moore will lead it off here for the Dolphins in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dolphins trail this one 5-0. Joe Foreman currently relieving himself as we come back here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So I'm currently solo on the call. No, he should not have taken his headset. Of course, I'm talking to Louis Matrone, our statistician here. Bottom of the 5th, Dolphins looking for some offense here. As Moore takes a strike, count goes to 0-1. Amelia Funson got the Dolphins their first base runner and hit of the game with a single in the previous inning. Now the Dolphins looking for some offense here in the bottom of the 5th. As they trail this one 5-0. Spartans have 7 hits, 5 runs, no errors. Dolphins, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. As Moore hits this one into shallow center, and a great sliding catch is made by the Spartans to record the first out. A nice job by Raposo there to record the first out of this bottom of the 5th. As we get a look at that one. Hit into shallow center. Raposo just making a great catch there. As Carcano, I should say, grounds that one to second. There's quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. And now Avery Mockery will try to keep the inning going for the Dolphins with 2 away. Voice is a little bit raspy after that next game, but got in here just in time for this game number 2. Count is 1-0 on Mockery. As that one is called for a strike to make the count 1-1. Count now going to 1-2. Mockery trying to defend the plate here with a 1-2 count. Try to keep this inning going.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And that's swung on and missed for strike 3. So I get to call 1 pitch in the inning. Thank you, Nick. We head to the 6th. Dolphins trail 5-0.
Stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
We are back from the CSI softball complex where someone has to find me a new 1.5-liter water bottle.
Someone needs to find me a voice.
Top of the 6th. Spartans lead 5-0, and that pitch is in for a called strike to Amanda Demerly. Comes the 0-1. That's hit to short. Balderas has it. Throw in time. And Demerly is out to open up the 6th.
Balderas had to be very quick on that throw to record that first out. As Demerly was running down that first base line and almost beat out the throw.
Adriana Coira will be the batter. First pitch from Edwards misses down and away for ball 1. Coira 2 for 3 at the plate in this game. Has an RBI. Edwards has pitched well, just 3 hits and 4 innings of work. She's walked just 1. Did I do it again, Nick?
Yes.
I did. Commentators jinx strikes.
It
again.
really does not fail.
It really doesn't.
As soon as you said hits and she started swinging, I said, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Boy, oh, boy. 1 out base runner for the Spartans.
I'll tell Madison that's your fault.
Elise Marcano, the batter. Marcano, 1 for 2 at the plate with an RBI. That's hit well to right center field, and that will land at the base of the fence. Coira is being waved home. The throw goes to third, and it is not nearly in time. It's an RBI triple for Elise Marcano, and the Spartans now lead 6-0.
She got a good rip into that one into right center field for that RBI triple. Spartans now increasing their lead. It's 6-0 here in the top of the 6th inning.
Pitcher number 15, Abby Landrum.
Well, Nick, I might step away again and let you take over, because clearly I did something.
Yikes.
Yikes. That pitch is fouled away by Abby Landrum for strike 1. That's how you know I'm out of it. I'm about to sneeze on microphone. Called the last 2 doubleheaders fully masked, all the way up to my eyes. That's popped up, foul ground, and out of play.
No Joker smile this time around.
It was washed and ready to go, but I thought to wear it 2 games in a row might be too much. I have my baseball-themed mask today.
I didn't notice that until you said it.
Yeah, it's baseball stitching. I think they do make a softball one as well. That's taken outside.
You can maybe wear that for the faculty, staff versus students game.
Oh, it's Joker mask all day for that game.
They won't want to mess with you.
1-2 the count on Landrum. And that's hit into left center field for another Spartans hit. Carcano can't cut it off. It rolls to the base of the fence. And Landrum is into second base, standing with a double.
Landrum has done it all today for the Spartans. Pitching a 1-hit shutout here in the top of the 6th. Now an RBI double to increase the Spartan lead to 7.
Well, the fair question, Nick, is what have I done?
What have you done, Joe? Yes.
As soon as I mentioned the pitching line, the hit total quickly doubled.
And now, unfortunately for the Dolphins, this game's starting to get away from them. Now a 7-0 lead in the top of the 6th.
Runner in scoring position, 1 out for Stack. And Tara Hagan takes low. Hagan with just 1 official at bat in this game has walked and was hit by a pitch. Comes the 1-0. That misses outside. Edwards behind here, 2-0. That catches the outside corner. Comes the 2-1. That's in the dirt for ball 3. Here's the 3-1. That's it sharply to short. Nice play by Balderas on a tough hop. And she throws out Hagan for the second out.
And you said, Joe, that was a top hop for Balderas there. That's a really tough out recorded by her. 2-way now here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting, the catcher number 21, Emily Olivier.
And Emily Olivier will be the batter. The Spartans score here. The Dolphins would have to score in the 6th to continue on to the 7th. Next run would be the 8th for Stack. Olivier looks at a strike. Spartans catcher 1 for 3 in this game with an RBI. Just about every starter for the Spartans has a hit, all but 2. That's cued right back to the circle. Edwards has it, and she throws out Olivier for the final out of the inning. But not before the Spartans score twice. They extend their lead to 7. St. Thomas Aquinas over Staten Island, 7-0. Home half of the 6th inning from the College of Staten Island, where the Dolphins trail 7-0. After today, just 2 games left on CSI's schedule. Those currently scheduled for Saturday.
Leading off for the Dolphins, the first baseman, number 24, Natalia Noth.
Natalia Noth will lead things off for CSI here in the 6th. Dolphins will send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate. Just 1 hit here in Game 2 for CSI as Noth takes low.
Another 2 runs for the Spartans in the top of the inning.
That's chopped foul. Dolphins have had a tough time against the Spartans offensively this year. Scored 4 runs total in the first doubleheader. All of those came in 1 game, a 6-4 loss. And today have scored just once. One and 2 the count on the Dolphins' first baseman, Noth. And she chops one just foul.
And looking over at the pitch count for Landrum, she's not even reached 60 pitches, Joe, in this game. She's been very efficient.
I said it earlier, the Dolphins have been aggressive. I was gone for about 2 minutes, and the Dolphins made 2 outs. And they make a quick out here in the 6th as Noth goes down looking.
Now batting, the catcher number
Landrum
19,
getting a strikeout there. There's up Rianne Mayer.
That's it on the ground toward first. And sprinting over to the bag in time was Hagan, as Mayer goes down on 1 pitch for out number 2.
And Mayer was a little bit out on front and that swing. But another first pitch swing for the Dolphins. And another quick out recorded by the Spartans is quickly 2 away.
Back to the top of the order for the Dolphins. Alyssa Acosta will hit with the bases empty and 2 outs.
Oh, no.
That's the second time we've seen Acosta hit in the last, say, 3 or 4 home doubleheaders.
This one, thankfully, not on the tip of the crown on her helmet.
Number 34, Anissa Acosta.
But she is holding at her wrist.
You were just waiting for that opportunity to say, oh no. I can't even imagine how long you were waiting.
Well, that's the second time now.
Yeah, but you were waiting. Clearly, you jumped right on it. You wanted to make sure you beat me to it.
You have to take all your opportunities when you can, Joe.
I would know. Anissa Acosta, the batter, and she taps one right back to the circle. Landrum has it, flips to first, and Acosta is retired on one pitch for the final out of the inning. Hit by pitch, puts a runner on. The Dolphins strand Acosta, and we head to the seventh. Spartans lead it 7-0. Seventh inning from the CSI softball complex. Madison Edwards back to the circle, and she finds the zone with a first pitch strike.
Dolphins once again got quickly retired in the bottom of the sixth. Now we're in the top of the seventh, and they're still trailing 7-0.
Pitch from Edwards on its way. And that's hit straight at Balderas, who makes the catch. And there's one away in the inning.
Did not have to move on that one.
Now batting,
Quickly one away for the Dolphins.
Eliana Raposo.
Those are the kind of plays I hope that we have to make in the faculty, staff, or student softball game. Right at us. We don't have to move. We don't want you running around in the outfield, that's for sure.
That wasn't where that's not where it happened, though, to be fair.
Where did it happen?
At the plate.
Can't even imagine how that happened at the plate, but okay.
Either at the plate or potentially me running out to try to beat out the throw at first. It just happened. I couldn't tell you.
You need to use discretion when you're running. Don't be running too hard. One year I tried to slide. I'll never try again.
Nice
As
play.
Acosta makes a nice grab. That's the second time we've seen her make a play like that in the last two doubleheaders.
That's another good play in this game.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 9.
The first time she had to field that one all the way in right field to make the throw at first to get the out. This time a big-time line drive almost into right center field, but she's able to record the out and prevent an extra base hit.
Well, I didn't help with the commentator's jinx, but the Dolphins' defense is doing a good job of helping their pitcher. Strike. And that's a foul ball.
Yeah, two.
Well, in Pat's defense, Nick, he can't see the scoreboard.
No, I know.
And the antenna is broken.
I know.
The antenna is the reason that the count is not updating.
You don't have to tell me. I know.
There's actually a hack to get the scoreboard to update faster. What you do, there are 0 errors. So you subtract an error after you put in each ball and strike, and it'll send the signal a second time. Count even at 2-2 here. Kelly Peterson at the plate. And she is hit by the pitch.
Inning will continue for the Spartans here on the hit by a pitch. as they now have a runner on with 2 away.
Now batting the left fielder, number
So
11.
for you,
Amanda
hit by a
Dowdy.
pitch is HBAP, because you said hit by a pitch. Is it HBP or HBAP?
Lou is saying the first one.
It is the first one. I just felt like
I
making
know,
a
you're
joke
just
at your
messing. I know, you're
expense.
just messing. I know.
Okay. Inning is over. Fly out to left field. 1 pitch out brings the top half of the 7th to a close. And we head to the home half of inning number 7. Dolphins trailing by 7.